I'd like to call the meeting to order and apologize to those online and on YouTube. We had a few technical difficulties getting everybody in. As we gather here today, we acknowledge on behalf of the County of Renfrew and our community that we're meeting on the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin people. The County of Renfrew was established in 1861 on these lands, which have been cared for by the Algonquin people for thousands of years. We express our gratitude to the Algonquins for their stewardship of this land and honor their rich history and their culture. We also thank all the generations of Indigenous peoples who have maintained a deep connection to this territory, and we are committed to fostering respect, reconciliation, and understanding. Please stand for a moment of silent reflection.
Our home and native land, a true patriot love in all of us common.
Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits.
God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Good morning, Madam Clerk. Could you call roll, please?
Good morning, and sure can. Councillor Doncaster,
Present.
Councillor Donahue,
Here.
Warden Nemo,
Present.
Councillor Giardini, Councillor Grills,
Present.
Councillor Hodnott, Councillor Yon, Councillor Lynch,
Here.
Councillor Mayville,
Present.
Councillor Murphy,
Here.
Councillor Nicholson,
Present.
Councillor Proctor, Councillor Reiki Schoenfeld,
Present.
Councillor Service,
Here.
Councillor Schulist,
Both EMGs.
Councillor Watt, Councillor Weir. Thank you. We do have quorum.
Thank you. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. And we'll move to the CAO, Deputy Clerk, with the annual report card.
Warden, would you mind if I take the podium? Is that okay?
Please do.
Good morning. Just a bit of a tickle in my throat because of a heavy curling game last night where I was doing a lot of hards. Good morning, and obviously very thankful for the opportunity to be in front of you once again this year at the end of the year, and deeply appreciative of the opportunity given a special council meeting to discuss other matters. We know it was a busy time for you and your municipalities, but it's obviously nice all of us to get together with you as county council. So good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through just the highlights, or through the highlights of our 2025 report card, which is a snapshot of everything that we've accomplished across the organization this year, and importantly, how it all ties back to the strategic plan you set in motion in early in your term, and of course reaffirmed in 2025 at our September meeting only but a few months ago. So the full list of accomplishments, at least those that we've captured, were included in the packages that were sent out yesterday. Apologize that it was sent out yesterday morning. It was, we wanted to get as much information in that as possible and for the public and get that to you in the shortness of time to turn this around for today's meeting. It just arrived yesterday. But in any case, this isn't just a list of things we did. It's a story of how your direction is showing up in the real work and the real outcomes and real improvements for the residents across Renfrew County. You'll see progress on financial sustainability, workforce development, community wellness, shared services, housing infrastructure, and environmental resilience, all of course pillars of the roadmap of the strategic plan that you approved. So as I'll say many times throughout today and over the course of the next several months and the rest of my career, I'd like to thank my colleagues across the corporation for their devotion to the strategic goals and objectives. And it's been quite the year. I'm sure they'd be happy to address any questions pertaining to their departments at the end of the presentation. So if we can, we'll go through the whole presentation, then follow up with questions afterwards if that's fine. So financial sustainability is always the starting point. If the dollars don't line up, nothing else does, as Mr. Burke can definitely attest to. This year saw the approval of the 2025 budget with a 5.6 levy increase. Not easy, but responsible. We held the line where possible, invested where necessary, and protected service delivery. We received clean audits, both for the county and for Renfrew County Housing Corporation, confirming that our financial house is indeed in order. We again updated the long-term financial plan. As directed, we were to come back every year with the long-term financial plan to give a bit of an update, and we updated with new targets and new baselines. It's more realistic, it's more actionable, and it definitely positions the county well for the next several years. We've continued on our modernization journey, officially started the Enterprise Resource Planning Replacement, a huge but critical undertaking. We often refer to this as the ERP. Along with payroll reform, a new general ledger structure or GL structure, and standardized purchase order workflows. You know, these items may not seem glamorous, they're not shiny, they're not a bouncy ball in the middle of the courtyard, but they're game-changing for our efficiency and our accountability. So one of our biggest strengths this year and every year is our people. So far in 2025, we've hired 168 new employees, and believe it or not, have completed 148 offboardings, or those who have moved on for the organization. That alone demonstrates how dynamic and competitive the municipal workforce has become. Human Resources modernized 15 policies this year with your approval, and everything from discipline to performance to compensation and travel, of course, being the biggest policy refresh the county has seen in years. So this is an acknowledgement of some outdated language and just some outdated policies that don't fit with the overall belief in collaborative efforts that we have ongoing throughout the county. We replaced our SMART goals with FAST goals, goals that are now frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, and transparent, and they keep the teams aligned and moving. As we move into the time of the year where we assess performance reviews, these FAST goals are being worked into our merit-based conversations and, of course, into our 2026 conversations with all our staff. We also significantly expanded student placements, including high school co-op students for the first time, which helps build our future talent pipeline. Our new health, safety, and wellness coordinator has made a major impact. They standardize SOPs, or standard operating procedures, better training, and a stronger focus on well-being. Unfortunately, that coordinator left us after setting the tone, and we're certainly recruiting for a new one, and with that in mind, hoping for a recruiter that brings the same type of passion and compassion for the organization and for her position or his position. As you've seen in the warden statements over the last several months, and of course throughout the building, we adopted our why statement, which is now a collaborative effort that aligns our daily purpose with our duties and our commitment to the organization. And something I'm truly personally proud of is Council's adoption of the Regional Truth and Reconciliation Commitment that happened at the last meeting, which is about leadership, humility, and creating a culture of learning and respect across all organizations. So we've made tremendous strides in achieving the action items and the goal of community wellness and health care. The Heart Hub went operational in October. It seems like a short time ago we discussed this, but it was now a year ago when we brought this concept up to County Council and then moved forward in a very rapid fashion and continue to speak about it almost daily, of course, across the organization. And of course, in today's meeting later on, we'll be talking more about the implications of what the Heart Hub means for Renfrew County and specifically in Pembroke. So again, the Heart Hub went operational in October, one of only 28 in Ontario and one of only a few that's actually operational. It's already making a meaningful difference for people struggling with homelessness, mental health, and addiction. Our concept of MESA expanded dramatically. We now have integrated outreach teams working together in a way that simply didn't exist before, where paramedics, peer support, Indigenous partners, mental health workers, and housing staff work together and work forward, helping those in need across the county. It's coordinated, it's humane, and it's effective. Community paramedics delivered more than 16,000 visits this year and diverted thousands of emergency room visits. Incredible, just simply incredible, and thanks to the chief and the deputy chiefs who are in the room today, and all, of course, the paramedics across the corporation. VTAC, our Virtual Triage and Assessment Center, of course, launched in the pandemic, now 5 and a half years ago, has served over 19,000 residents. 75% of them still don't have a primary care provider. VTAC is still preventing over 2,000 emergency room visits per month, and it continues to be recognized nationally. Long-term care had a standout year as well. Miramichi Lodge earned an outstanding in the butterfly model, and only 4 homes in Canada received this distinction, so congratulations to Mr. Blackmore and Mr. Quad for all the work they've done there. Bonnechere Manor is moving strongly towards its own certification. We'll bring you updates on that as we move forward in 2026. Both homes saw major capital upgrades, staffing enhancements, and program improvements, all of which enhance resident care and quality of life. In the effort of shared services and resources, this was also a year of partnership, not only within the county, but across the region. Bless you. Roma and AMO delegations, followed by, of course, a successful, by all accounts, Queen's Park Day just 3 weeks ago, strengthened our advocacy footprint. Doors that were once tough to open are now open, and we intend to walk through them with purpose. We made real progress exploring shared services with our lower tier partners as well, thanks to you and your advocacy at your municipalities. HR continues to be a trend center, now supporting 8 municipalities. We hosted several regional meetings, including AMCTO Zone 6 and the Eastern Ontario Wardens Caucus Clerks, and we delivered the municipal, or the MAP training right here in our building, the Municipal Administration Program. It's a positive that the county is becoming a regional hub for municipal professional development, and we hope to grow that in 2026. So as part of our ongoing collaborative efforts with our other public sector colleagues in the region, we continue to participate and have hosted countywide Truth and Reconciliation training days with more than 50 leaders present. Certainly a powerful moment of learning and alignment. So attainable housing and infrastructure. Well, a lot has happened this year in housing, and hopefully people are starting to see the benefits. These are not small cosmetic projects either. They're real additions to the housing stock. The 135 Francis Street triplex in Renfrew is well underway and now on track for occupancy either very late this year or early in the new year. The Lee Street full block redevelopment was completed, a huge step forward and a model for future row house renewal. If anybody's in Pembroke over towards a new housing, go take a look. And as we talked about over the last few meetings, the 224 Vimy Boulevard unit, which those will recall was an office space in the old Opiongo Housing Corporation portfolio, is now being converted to a new 2-bedroom unit. 700 McKay's first transitional housing wing is open, and the second is being deliberated as coming online in the new year as well. So we have conversations about what's next at our partner of Care4. We completed 92 vacancies this year. That's an incredible amount of work. When the amount of work goes into flipping a house, if you will, or flipping a unit, 92 in 1 year is incredible. And for the first time in more than 5 years, we anticipate that we've inspected 100% of all the units that we have in our portfolio. On the infrastructure side, as you saw in your slide from last meeting, Public Works delivered another huge year. Over 60 kilometers of road rehabilitation, 8 structure projects, and nearly 53 kilometers of the Algonquin Trail. We also advanced construction of the new Whitewater Paramedic Base, and these investments strengthen mobility, safety, and service reliability across the county. Environmental resilience has become woven through much of our work, but a few highlights certainly stand out. We advanced our climate action plan. As the committee will be stood up in the new year, we're just assessing the applications right now, and we'll bring a report forward in January, February on that committee. We planted over 45,000 seedlings, a major investment in long-term forest sustainability. We expanded invasive species management and continued to protect and enhance county forests. Forestry operations generated over $330,000 in revenue, well above expectations. And finally, trail improvements, or active transportation, if you will, included 52.4 kilometers of Algonquin Trail, as we spoke about in the prior slide, supporting active living, tourism, and low-impact transportation. We're almost done the Algonquin Trail. We only have about 30 kilometers left, one bridge and a bunch of trail. So, I mean, we're getting there. We're going to be real close. And actually, in a matter of probably less than 10 years, getting to that goal is a major achievement for this council. And on Monday, we're in Carleton Place with our partners in Lanark and Frontenac County to sign the new KMP agreement that we've talked about at length here and have approval to move forward with, making the KMP Trail an official trail of municipal ownership that will run all the way from Renfrew down to Kingston. So that's a major milestone in adding another line to our portfolio by the end of this year. So to wrap up, 2025 was a year of momentum. Across every department, we saw innovation, modernization, compassion, and certainly collaboration. The work you set out in your strategic plan is not sitting on a shelf, it's being lived every day by staff across the organization. Of course, we want to thank Council for clear and direction and strong support. And again, I'd like to thank staff from paramedics to planners to HR, Public Works, Housing, Finance, Community Services, Long-Term Care, and everyone in between for delivering exceptional work. We are well positioned as we head into 2026, and I look forward to continuing this progress with all of you. Happy to take questions, Warren.
Thank you. And do we have any questions or comments? Member from Amherst and Bromley, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden, and through you, thank you to Mr. Kelly as well, and I'm presuming by extension to the directors present here this morning. This is an outstanding document. I think that in his remarks, Mr. Kelly noted how the strategic plan is the underpinning. We did that in 2023 to set the course for this term of council. Every year we do the budgets, which is putting into effect the policies, both the maintenance of what we have, but also where we want to grow and where our priorities are. So ultimately, the asset management plan figures largely in that budgeting. But ultimately what this does now is this is the other end of the bookend to any individual year. When we are setting the budget, as I said, we're defining our priorities, but this is citing and listing what we are doing when we set the budget, what we are doing when we appropriate those dollars from our ratepayers, in addition to various other funding agencies, province being chief among them. But ultimately, this ties it together. What are you doing? So when we do the budget, we say this is what we're going to do, but this is the report ultimately that says, what have you done? You set a benchmark for yourselves at the start of the year. So now tell us, and this is certainly valuable for us. And I think it is also valuable for enterprise-wide, for all of the staff. I've often said that this is a very complex organization, and I think it's outstanding that across all of the departments they can see how complex and what it is the role and the place of the County of Renfrew. But ultimately, I think much more so for those people that are watching either live or going to stream this, or perhaps the press that will amplify the message that we're hearing today. This is what we are doing. This is what we have accomplished. And it is vitally important that we communicate that in an era where we are perhaps being over-communicated to. We need to make sure we are elbowing our way into that space so that those who are paying the bills can see what their tax dollars are going towards. So I commend through you, Mr. Warden, Mr. Kelly, and of course, once again, to all of the staff, all of the directors that are here, and in fact, one who is at the back of the room, just below the clock, Mr. Quaid, I see. So thank you for this outstanding document.
Turn the mic off for a change. Okay, do I see any other hands? Okay. Member from Whitewater.
Thanks, Warden. I just a question for the CAO, just to kind of build off of what had just been spoken about, was that communication piece. Have we any thought towards taking this report card and digesting it into some kind of infographic or some kind of messaging that we could share with the public, similar to what OFA does on agriculture for Renfrew County, as an example? Is there some way that we can put this in bite-sized pieces that the public might be able to absorb and have a better appreciation for what the county what does and what it has achieved?
Mr. Kelly.
No, thank you, through you, Warden, to Councillor Nicholson. Yeah, that's absolutely what the next steps would be. Obviously, it's quite the document in point form. It's some 12, 14 pages or something like that. So to distill it down into a 6-panel pamphlet would be a little tougher, but we'll definitely try that. Obviously, we'll post the actual document on our webpage and amplify it out that way. But happy to do so. You know, in the absence of leaving out 3 points that someone might care about, I'd like to put the entire document on our website and then suggest that we've completed a report card, presented it to council. The slides you see today are a snapshot of some maybe of themes, and we can use that moving forward. But no, good comment, and we'll work on those as next steps.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much. In short, I really think it's important that we have measurable metrics. So when you look at the numbers, when it talks about VTAC having 200,000 people, you look at 200,000 appointments, I'm sorry, and you also look at the number of switches from 160 in to 148 out in terms of employees. Those are things that we can keep track of. Numbers are important. Every time we go somewhere to make a presentation, we have to have numbers. We can't just say we're doing really good stuff. And so I really like this new format. I'm glad that it's been adopted over the years and refined. It is a lengthy document. It's a big corporation. It does many big things. And I think the document has to reflect that. So congratulations to you and to staff. What a great accomplishment, and also to our many partners. And next, we will have the long-term care discussion report for County Council. Mr. Quaid, please.
Thank you, Warden. Through you to committee, apologies for my absence. I'm a little under the weather and don't want to spread anything. So the resolution is for our best practice spotlight organization program. What we're looking for is the deputy clerk and the chief administrator to provide letters of support along with the Chair of Health Committee for Miramichi Lodge in their application to become a best practice spotlight with the RNAO with the implementation of our clinical pathways, which are best practice guidelines for long-term care homes throughout Ontario. Would you like me to go ahead with the background?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Miramichi Lodge has successfully implemented the best practice guidelines related to resident admissions, delirium, resident and family-centered care, falls prevention, and pain management, and are now in a position to apply for the Registered Nurses Association Best Practice Spotlight Organization designation. The positive outcomes on residents include reduced falls, improved quality of life, and enhanced job satisfaction for staff, increased knowledge of best practices amongst our professional staff as well. The BPSO program, or Best Practice Spotlight Organization, will integrate seamlessly with the strategic direction of the County of Renfrew and operational plan of Miramichi Lodge, as well as the existing quality improvement plan of the home. The ever-increasing complexity and acuity of resident care needs in our home and long-term care facility are best supported by evidence-based clinical practice and programs, and we are committed to being a clinical best practice leader. The final step to move forward with this application is to provide these letters of support for the County of Renfrew's application.
Thank you. Council, you've heard the report. Any comments, questions, concerns? Member from Edmonton Bromley, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Warden. Has this been moved yet?
No, that was a good point. Could I get a mover for the resolution? Member from Edmonton Bromley. Seconder is member from Arnprior. And now discussion, sir.
Thank you very much. I certainly wanted to note that in keeping with accredited with exemplary standing that we have at both homes, once again, this is demonstrating the incredible staff that we have at both long-term care homes. I recognize that this is for Miramichi Lodge specifically, but I think it once again demonstrates the commitment that we have in this room and across the County of Renfrew towards the long-term care homes. I think that given the municipal augmentation of the funding for both Miramichi and Bonnechere Manor, it does provide to or have an expectation of them also to be leading, that the practices that we are able to embrace and practice and live day to day in our long-term care homes are then made available right across the other long-term care homes in the County of Renfrew. I think that is certainly one of the expectations that I have, is that we can be that leading light, and in fact this is demonstrating that we are continuing to be at the front of progress within the delivery of long-term care. So commendations certainly to Mr. Quaid and his entire staff.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns? Seeing none, you've heard the report, you've heard the motion. I'm going to call the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? None. It's carried. Thank you very much. And now I'd be looking for a mover and seconder for the following motion. Be resolved that council move into a closed session pursuant to Section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the purpose of A, the security of the property of the municipality or local board, and that's 330 Boundary Road East, Pembroke. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, CAO/deputy clerk performance appraisal. C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, 330 Boundary Road East, Pembroke. Could I have a mover, please? The member from Killia Richards, second by the member from Petawawa. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? None. It's carried. Thank you, council, and we are now in closed.
open.
Thank you. We are back in open after a very productive conversation, a series of conversations and closed. And direction was provided regarding the CAO Deputy Clerk performance review, and Council also discussed the property located at 330 Boundary Road East. So I'll have two motions I'm going to ask for a mover and seconder. The first one is that County Council declare the property required at 330 Boundary Road East, Pembroke, as surplus to the county's requirement. And can I have a mover? Member from Mr. Brownlee, seconded by the member from Head Mariah. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? None. It's carried. Thank you. And Madam Clerk, could you read the second one for me, please?
Thank you, Warden. That County Council directs staff to proceed with selling 330 Boundary Road East, Pembroke, through direct sale as per policy GA02.
Thank you. Could I get a mover for that? Member from Empire, second by the member from Horton. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? None. It's carried. Thank you, Council. That bylaw 139-25, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the County of Renfrew at the meeting held on December 3rd, 2025, be now deemed read 3 times and passed. Can I have a mover, please? Member from North Agona Wilberforce, second by the member from Deep River. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? None. Is carried. Thank you. Just before we leave, this is my last meeting as warden, I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm a bit of a hog for the limelight, so I might try to get another one in. But I want to thank Council. It's been a truly enjoyable 3 years up here representing you. I've been so fortunate to have your support, but more fortunate to have your trust to be able to assist you in putting your innovative ideas forward. This has been probably one of the most interesting and exciting councils, I think, ever, but most definitely that I've been involved in since 2006. When I take a look at your unbridled enthusiasm for the non-traditional things that we've involved ourselves in and we've led on. When you look at VTAC, you look at the expansion of community paramedicine, you look at the generations concept, the virtual doctors through interactive health, through Centennial Family Health Team in Petawawa, our housing summit, the business summit, the warming center, how fast we pivoted on that. You're open to it. In fact, surprisingly quick, given how slow we do things, we take some really solid second thoughts on it. The leadership of Lee's team with regards to the Algonquin Trail, and also with the road supers, where they meet a few times a year and share things, and really have worked hard to increase the professionalism of the knowledge base of the road supers. You take a look at the efforts that the community services team has made to, we saw a report, I think it said 480 people showed up at the learning in Renfrew this year for the May Day. That was something that started, I think, 10 or 11 years ago. I think I was at their very first one. And again, just the commitment to making sure that we make things better in our community. And so that's not filling potholes. Most of those things are things that we traditionally would not have been involved in, but Council has said there is a need, and our staff have brought forward solid, substantive, generationally changing ideas, and you've embraced them. And maybe I know I've taken some chirping from the cheap seats, from past members of County Council, as well as from the community, about getting in control of the spending and getting in control, you should be just making sure my road's done. And I'm sure most of you have had that as well. I have to say, through you, thank you to your communities. As you know, when I was wandering around with a walker and a cane, your communities and your staff just so attentive and kind It was awe-inspiring, and I certainly appreciate that. I certainly appreciate the inquiries about my health, and also the, just the rah-rah, get better. That was so touching. I have learned a lot from your staff as well. Most of your staff, when I speak with them, are always sharing ideas. And I've spoken about this before, but the pride your councils and your community have in your achievements and what you've done. Each time you go somewhere, you can get a 1-hour tour. If you have time, sometimes a 2-hour tour of whatever they're doing. And so it's something I enjoy seeing all the time. And to you, each one of you individually, thank you for your support. Your questions were always insightful and helpful. And you often allowed me to talk my way through something and not hold it against me and wait for the answer. And that kind of patience is quite generous and very helpful for me personally, but I think also for the room. So I can't say enough about how impressed I am with you. Your decorum in chambers is legendary across the province. People watch our meetings. That you've embraced, you take your turn, you speak respectfully, there's no sarcasm, there's no demeaning somebody. You've accepted the idea that the chair that you sit in is your community chair. It's not yours personally. It's not Reeve Imo's, it's the town of Renfrew's. It's the member from Renfrew. And so you've accepted those things and embraced it, and that's full marks to you. You've done an exceptional job as a council and individually here. To staff, thank you. You've put up with some of my musings. It's not widely known, but I am a innovative thinker sometimes. Other times I'm not. And you've put up with it as I've worked through it and answered my questions patiently. And offered great advice and guidance when we've gone into meetings. I trust you, as everybody here does, trust you, trust your judgment, trust your recommendations, and trust that you'll always leave the corporation better at the end of every day, and the community better at the end of every day. So we're extremely fortunate to have you with us, leading us, advising us, and sometimes consoling us when we don't get what we want. I can be quite petulant if I don't get what I want, especially in Toronto. I think we deserve a lot more, but anyway, that's a story for another day over a beer. And to everybody that's contributed to all of the delegations or who represented me when I couldn't make it, you've all done an exceptional job. I've been extremely fortunate to be able to lean on you and pick your brain. And I appreciate the frank conversations. To Craig and Gwen and Connie, wow, you guys, it's awesome what you do. We talk about being able to speak freely and to bounce ideas, and that's what happens. The three of us, nobody has a title. It's amazing. And, you just riff off ideas. One of us will go and lean on the door frame and start talking, and then a couple of people show up, and then the next thing you know, we've got a good conversation, and then there's some things happening, and then we, and there are formal conversations too, where we get together with an agenda and work our way through it. But sometimes I think they think they had to take care of me, so we had to work off that mom and dad thing a little bit, shrug that off. But no, I certainly appreciate the care and the expressions for my well-being. To the town of Renfrew, thank you to staff. They've been exceptionally friendly, flexible. My schedule is not always easy sometimes, and I make it worse by trying to jam things together. And so they've been very good to help me out with that. And to poor Tina, thank you for taking my mumblings and meanderings and making sense of them. I've been really fortunate. This is one of the neatest positions in the world. You couldn't ask for anything better than to be here. And we're lucky we've got 2 great candidates coming up next week, and the County of Renfrew will continue, as always. Council always makes the right decision. Council picks the right candidates to be warden at the right time. You know, when I look back to previously, you know, Bob Sweet, just a super salesperson. Janice, you know, she connected with people at a very visceral level, and represented the county. And you look at Paul Curtis, who I think was the perfect warden. I think if Paul Curtis, you know, had been retired, he could have been warden for 100 years. You know, he was working at CNL at the time, he could only do 1 year, but he's kind of who I hold myself up against as a measurement. He's just a phenomenal gentleman. And when I grow up, I want to be a little bit more like him. But anyway, thank you very much. And with that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn, please. No. Thank you. Motion to adjourn, please. Member from Petawawa, second by Edmondson Bromley. All in favor? Thank you. We're adjourned.